рассмешили.
Hey everybody, welcome to Studio 64. My name's David, and I've been searching the interzones for some more science, space, and tech news to share with you. And I came across this, good old RT.com. Yes, where apparently the Pentagon accuses Russia of launching space weapon. Moscow has dismissed the remarks by officials in Washington as fake. Yes, why would that not surprise me? Considering that the Russians will accuse the Americans of doing it, and the Americans will say it's fake. Fascinating. It's like being back in the Cold War again when I was growing up. You know, the Russians and the Americans would do something and they'd accuse each other of bullshitting, which wouldn't surprise me. Russia has placed a satellite in orbit that is likely capable of attacking US spacecraft, Pentagon Press Secretary Major General Pat Ryder has claimed. Now, the satellite was launched by Moscow on May the 16th, Ryder told journalists during a briefing on Tuesday. Now, according to assessments by the Pentagon, the craft in question is likely a counter-space weapon, presumably capable. God, I can't even speak today. My brain's operating on half a Biden. Presumably capable of attacking other satellites in low Earth orbit, he said. Its characteristics resemble those of counter-space payloads deployed by Russia from 2019 and 2022, the spokesman stated. Yes, absolute. You see, you don't know what to believe, do you? Do you believe the Russians or do you believe the Americans? I don't believe any of them. Russia deployed this new counter-space weapon into the same orbit as a US government satellite, Ryder said, adding that the Pentagon will be monitoring the spacecraft. Got to keep them busy, even though there's probably nothing up there. They're probably following a piece of insulation from a space shuttle or something. The US has a responsibility to be ready to protect and defend. Yeah, good on you. Yeah, protect and defend the space domain and ensure continuous and uninterrupted support to the joint and combined force, he explained. Washington will continue to balance the need to protect our interests in space with a desire to preserve a stable and sustainable space environment, according to Ryder. Well, you can't even defend what's going on at the moment, you silly boy. I'm sorry, Major General Ryder. I mean, your entire military is so woke at the moment. They're going into battle and they're trying to figure out which bloody handbag to use. What makeup to wear. It's bloody ridiculous. Absolutely stupid. Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Rybakov, Ryabkov, I can't even pronounce the guy's name. I do apologise there. Yes, rejected the Pentagon's claims as misinformation. I don't think we should be responding to every fake coming from Washington, he told journalists. The Russian space program is developing smoothly and includes launches of spacecraft for various purposes, including those that solve the issues of strengthening our defence capabilities, the diplomat said. Right. So you've just basically admitted it. And people want to know why I'm a cynic and I don't trust anybody when it comes to people in power anymore. I don't trust any of them. It's fascinating. They seem to think we're stupid. Incredible. However, he reiterated that Moscow consistently opposes the deployment of strike weapons in low Earth orbit. Yes, the Americans may say whatever they want, but Russia's policy on the issue will not change, Ryabkov stressed. Now, if the US really wanted to achieve security in space, it would have reconsidered its destructive approach and accepted Russia's proposal to develop a treaty on the prevention of an arms race in outer space. Yes, just like the one that was signed in 1967 between the major powers during the Cold War, to do with nuclear weapons in space. Yes, why not just extend that? It already exists. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? On Monday, the UN Security Council rejected a Russian draft resolution on preventing an arms race and ensuring security in outer space. The US was among the 7 nations that voted against the proposal. Well, of course, because it's like anyone, whether it's the Russian government or the American government, the Chinese government, what will they say? They will go, it's all right when we do it. Yeah, fascinating. I love this. Another story here on RT.com. US are the biggest threat to security in space, according to China, while China's probably launching bloody satellite killers at themselves. fascinates me. And people just, the Chinese believe their government, the Americans believe their government, the Russians believe theirs, and everybody with half a brain cell is going to look at it and go, you're all full of it. Moscow confirmed that a Soyuz 2.1B launch vehicle blasted off on May 17th from Plesetsk Cosmodrome in the Arkhangelsk region in the interests of the Russian Defense Ministry. No further details were released about the satellite carried by the rocket. Yeah, well, I'm sure it's not, anything to do with the internet or anything like that. It probably is. It's probably just a monitor, so we can monitor all the American space weapons that we haven't been told about. It amazes me. It said gaslighting. It's when you accuse one party of doing something that you're doing. So I have the opinion very simply that the Russians are launching stuff into space, and so are the Americans. But the Americans are paid off, like the original Sputnik in 1957, that they didn't do it first. Absolutely fascinating. All right, well, my name is David. Thanks for joining me for another Studio 64 Science, Space and Tech News update. I shall see you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you're up for it, drop a comment down below the video, because I'd love to hear what you think. All right, take care. And as I always say, if you can't be good at it. And as I also always say,
my nipples are very sensitive.